Hi, I'm the face behind the voice. I just wanted to say hello and give you a quick update on where we're going with the Anti-Stigma in Schools campaign and how it's all working and what our reflections are of it. We're not halfway through yet, and so we've still got a lot of learning to go. But there's been a big update, I guess, with how we're speaking about the information and the words we're using, what the words mean to the pupils. So for instance, last week we moved into the topic of diversity and stigma and how that comes through in their daily lives and impacts them and how they recognise it, how they talk about it. And it became very clear very quickly that they haven't quite got the language to discuss stigma and diversity at deeper levels beyond, financial or physical feature, which is fine, and it's great because it's kind of fascinating for a researcher's point of view as well, of when you're coming at these projects and thinking all these wonderful grand ideas and we're going to get them to develop these comic books and tell us stories from their own lived experience, and we'll be able to share it and it'll help change policies and what have you, and give pupils a voice that hasn't been heard quite clearly before in a public forum. And it's going to do all those things, but for us we also need to help guide them and prompt them a bit further to get to a bit deeper level of how these stories are coming about. And so we've actually come up with the idea that we're going to do a glossary for them, which is something we hadn't anticipated having to do. And it's going to come at it from the poverty stigma side of it and the angle of it, and based on how this project came about with citizens' advice and using lived experiences to be able to share that for them. So I'll put a little picture of it there, and we'll develop that a bit further as we go through the project, and by the end of it I'm hoping it'll be quite filled out. But so far everything's going really well. They're loving the creative side of it and engaging it with the creativity of being able to share their stories and have their voice heard and explore different ideas, and some are crazy and outlandish, and but there is all purpose to it, and I don't think they've ever really been given the space before to actually talk about these things and have it put down on paper, and so that in itself is a really good experience for them. So while it's been some pretty challenging stories that some of them are talking about, so things with family situations at home, talking about living with disabilities, talking about experiencing different negative things that happen in their days, their friendship groups, they haven't seen this as a negative overall experience. That when they talk about stigma or when they talk about poverty or when they talk about bullies, it's not something that they're negative about. So that's been interesting to see develop as well. But what I wanted to tell you as well is from today we'll be doing a few more interviews with the people that are involved, and so you'll get to meet the faces behind the facilitators, whether or not they participate we'll see, but at least if we can get them to say hello and get some of their thoughts and feedback as well, and what their feelings are on how the project's going, because we're the first people to do something like this at this school and come about this way, and so it's a new project and it's evolving as we go. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. If you have any questions or want to know a bit more about it, I'm happy to share. Thanks.